Hello friends, we are going to have the best video today. I made this in my head way before I even received my paper pumpkin kit. I needed a sampler for summer. Like, I have the cutest samplers for all the seasons, and I just needed one for summer. And when I saw that kit, I was like, yep, that's going to be a sampler. So we are using the July 2023 Fun in the Sun paper pumpkin kit. It is the cutest, and I would sell you an extra kit if I had it, but I don't have any extras. They've already sold. But don't forget to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. You will want to do that because you don't want to miss any kits. Some of them are to die for. And if you ever have one that you don't love, then you can make something different with it. Of course, I love these cards and I love my sampler. So you can use both. But, and look at these envelopes. I'm dying how cute they are. Dying. Okay, so sweet. And I will end up, I had enough to make both samplers, and then I had enough to make one set of cards. I will have enough left to make one set of cards. You may not know where this designer paper comes from, but it is the back side of Le Shops. And I'm just putting that straight down to a backing from some of our designer paper. So that's my sampler trick. There's no wizardry to making these samplers. I end up using a lot of the same dimensions on all my samplers because it's not the dimensions that make it so cute, it's what you make. So when you put in an order with me this week, you will get a PDF to show you all the measurements that I used for all my squares. Okay. So it's going to have a different sampler in it because I'm going to show you how to do each one of these. And I will attach the squares that we're going to use today. But the measurements are simple. So I always start with, I love this color, Azure Afternoon. And I'm going to have to raise this up so you can see the whole thing at once. Let me see if I can get it really high. Okay, I think that's good. All right, so I've got my Azure Afternoon rectangles, and then we're going to come in with a bunch of Azure Afternoon squares. You're going to need 5, so 1, and I just put them loosely right here just to kind of get a feel for, well, I'm not even going to try to do that yet because we're just going to make each square and then we'll, you know what? We can do that now because we can stick these down. So let's go ahead and do that. I just legit, like, just eyeball it. There are people that do whole videos on, like, how to get your sampler exactly neat. But honestly, I just look for about the same amount of distance between the squares and I stick them down. So don't overthink it. This piece of paper behind it actually helps us because it's got a little bit of lines. And then I just start sticking down my squares. So leave the rests there, and then you can be just sticking these down one by one. Super easy. And then what I do, I know some people, do you frame it? Do you not frame it? I just use a plate holder. And I get I'll show you what I use behind it to give it some structure from a craft store or online. You can order these 12 by 12 canvas panels. It's hard. It's hard. And I just stick that behind it. And I stick this in a plate holder. And I just have it out like that. So I just know I'm lazy and I'm not going to switch it out of the frame every time. That's just me. So then I just go in and switch it out for whatever season. And I'm just so excited because I never had a summer one. Okay, stick that down. All I have left is this rectangle. So now your rectangles are down. And again, just eyeballing. Don't get in your head about it. Perfect. Now, we're going to set that aside and start building our rectangles. So, let me get my box over here. I've got 2 pieces of basic white cut already to fit right in those rectangles. And I've already cut out some little letters. Now, I use the Alphabet a la Mode dies. So, and we're going to say Summer Fun. But the letters, you can see like the letters were too small for the space. And so I added some of the elements from the paper pumpkin kit. Let me see how I can do this. I'm going to put this here and just make this one. So you're going to need a trimmer to trim your elements down from your paper pumpkin kit. So all these pieces come from the paper pumpkin kit except for this designer paper here that I used. And we're looking for the piece that, the part I used for this part is the card base. So you're going to pull that. And what I did is I just cut it like, I used the cutter to cut it off right here. Is that the same piece? It kind of looks different. Yes, that is different. Hold on. I was like, that doesn't look exactly the same. Here it is. This whole time I've been thinking that this would look cute, but this is cuter. This little paper pumpkin kit reminds me of, in the 80s, people wore all their Ocean Pacific shirts. It's exactly what it reminds me of. Or like their Jams shorts. But the Ocean Pacific is what comes to mind for me. And this, I'll tell you, is 3 inches. So what I did is I just kind of went back and forth, and I know that I'm going to cut it right above that sun, and then I'm going to bring it this way to 3 inches and cut down that sand. And then we've got this cute little cutout, so that's going to go right here. Oh, you know what? That's not 3 inches. That must be 2 7/8. Again, all the dimensions you'll get on the PDF. There we go. Okay. And that goes right here. Oh, you know what? The PDF won't have the dimensions, but you'll have the PDF dimensions for these white pieces, and then you can figure out how you need to cut the paper pumpkin bits down. Does that make sense? Y'all are smart. Y'all can figure that out. Okay, now, in your paper pumpkin kit, you've got the cutest little stamp sets, and it has all the cutest things, and what we're looking for is this sun. And there is a Daffodil Delight ink spot in there. I just went ahead and got out my Daffodil Delight ink pad because I like to save my ink spots to send to my customers. So we're going to use this with our sun stamp and stamp 3 little Daffodil Delight suns, just kind of filling in space here. Plus, I think it really brings it all together. And then we're going to take our letters, and I don't try to put them all in a line. Don't make things harder than they have to be. Just kind of like, you know, vary it to get it where it needs to go. So kind of get them down in a row first until you're kind of happy with how they are-ish. And now you're going to glab grab your liquid glue and just give a little dab on each letter. Now, the liquid glue is very positionable at first, but then it becomes much permanent after a few minutes. So if you don't like exactly where you put it, it's fine. You can smush it around for a minute. And then you can just leave it where it is. Hey, I'm doing a video. Okay. My family's home. Okay. So just a tip when you're doing something like this with the liquid glue, it's not like it's repositionable so much that it'll pop up like that. So what I do is I take a clear block and I just set it right on top of it and just leave it there until just a minute or so. It's pretty quick. And then in your paper pumpkin kit is this cute little set of punch outs. And all I did was add one of these little starfish punch outs to that. So that's your first rectangle. And that's going to go, see, the letters are already stuck down. That's going to go right there in that rectangle. Now let's do our bottom rectangle while we're on that topic. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. So this one is going to be the one that says fun. Try to get it in where you can see it while I'm doing it. Now, this one is going to use this card base that has this little piece. And let me just check the dimensions on this white square this time so I won't tell you wrong. Yeah, it's 2 7/8. So what your goal is to cut this piece off the edge, right at that, just at the color line. That's all I did. Cut it off right where the blue meets the yellow. And then I went ahead and cut right above, I'll tell you, you cut right above that dark yellow. And then you're gonna cut this, turn it around and cut this, yeah, at 2 7/8. So right there. That gives you a little bit of that, tiny bit of that sand. And that goes here. And then in your kit, you've got this cutest little palm tree. So, but let's put our letters down first. Did I? Oh, there they are. So you definitely want to have the alphabet all mode dies. We're going to come in and stamp our suns again. So, oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3. I love the symmetry. I guess I'm just a symmetry girl. I don't know about you, but I love a good balance. And I like how this balances the one that we did here, right? So that's just me. You may be more of a random girl. I tend to be a balancer. So F U N. You could also make it say, I thought after I made this, I thought you could also make it say hello summer. That would be cute too. But I had already done summer fun when I thought that. So stick that down for a second while we go find our palm tree. Now our palm tree is just one of the elements in the kit that you can use to make your cards. It's adorable, but we're going to use it on our sampler. And I love how it has this sandbar down here because that really helped me fill in this extra space on this card. Now, I'll tell you, I shipped the palm tree to where it came right on the edge of that little section there. And I just stuck this right down with Stampin' Seal. So I just lined up the edge of that palm tree with that. And that's that. So, yeah. Yep. Oh, let's go ahead and do this while we're here. I use these in color dots, and you're gonna do 1, 2, just giving it a little shimmer and shine. It's very subtle, but 1, 2, 3 right on these coconuts. Is that not the cutest? We're gonna use some of these other colors, so don't let them get too far from you. The in color dots. They were on back order for a little bit. I don't know if they're, and I say back order, not orderable. And I don't know if they're back or not, but you may already have them, or you can wait and get them when they're ready. But that makes it cute. You can put rhinestones there as well. All right, so that's our next rectangle. Cute as buttons. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to shake my shimmy there. Let's go ahead and do our sailboat. I'm gonna close this so I don't make them. Well, I'm just gonna set it over here. I need it in a second. So our sailboat, we're gonna need this. We're gonna need 2 pieces. So we have this piece, and also there's something. This piece. So and let me get my ruler that my friend Patience made. Tells us that we're cutting this down to 3 inches now, and then we want it to be 3 inches tall as well, so it's a 3 by 3 square. So all you're gonna do is bring it in and pull it over to 3 inches. And actually, I wanted to cut it off. I'm going to cut these 2 things separately. Bring this over to 3 inches, trim it down a little bit, and then trim this guy down to 3 inches. And then this little guy should be right at, so your, what do you call it, that cloud line should hit right at the top of that, right at that 3 inch mark. And then you're going to cut through both sections with that. And then I just stuck that straight down with Stampin' Sil, like so. That's our little sailboat, and I'm going to stick him right in this little section. And then, oh, I actually put a white square behind him. So all these white squares are 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. You could, actually, I'm going to leave the white square out of this one. I'm not even sure why I put it there. We're going to put the sun here. And I love that. It's like the sun and the blue horizon. So let's leave it off there. All right. Our next square let's make is this one. So we've got I just grabbed out all my squares and then covered them up. Our next square, first we're going to take our Daffodil Delight, and we're going to put it all the way in the far left corner. Our little sun, and then we're going to take our die cut piece from the kit that is this umbrella with the beach. Now, if you put it on like this, your umbrella is going to be tilted, which, I mean, I guess you could do that, like, but that kind of bothered me, so I actually trimmed it. Like I said, I guess I'm a symmetry girl. I took it like this, and what I did is I just kind of made it to where my umbrella was straight, like, compared to this. And then you can see there's no, like, magic to hit to this. And then this I'm gonna trim that a little bit, and then this is gonna be, so we're trying to get this down to 2 7/8 to fit in that square. I think, let me see, did I already say that? What the dimensions of this are? The white, nope, I said it already. The white squares are 3. Don't overthink it, Kay. So you're gonna get that down to 3. I remember now, the Azure Afternoon are like 3 1/8. So, and then this little guy is gonna just stick straight down to there. So you can even use Stampin' Seal, whatever you want. Stick that sucker down. Cute as buttons. And then I'm going to use another one of my in color dots just to give a little pebbled path thing there. And that is our square here. Super cute. Now my favorite square is this one. It's adorable. And we're going to start with our white square. And we're going to use our Adirondack chair. Got all these pieces at the bottom. We have an Adirondack chair, a crab, and a tiny little sunglasses die cut. And we also have a sign. And then the last little bit of this piece is a element from the kit. Let me find it. That, where is it? Is this it? No. That. So many bits and pieces. It's brown, blue, white. That's not it. It's in here, don't worry. Oh. No, that's not it. It looks like this, but it's a different color. You take these bits out one by one. I have it all right here, organized. Ha ha ha. I can see the outline of it, probably. Okay, so I need to find the piece that has the... Oh, you know what? Maybe I used it twice or something? I don't know. Okay, let's just cut our losses here and we'll just use this. We've got this sand and then clouds above. So I do think there's a piece in here that would come like this, which is what I used here, but I guess I used that too many times because I don't have the extra piece. I'll probably find it after I get off of here. All right, so we're going to cut here and then make this go to 3. Like so. And we're gonna stick that. By the time you're done with all these little pieces, it's, oh, we're gonna smidge that down a smidge. Let's cut it to 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, just to give it a little Azure Afternoon edge to it. So that's going to go down directly to that. No, let's do it on the white. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to put we're going to take this sign and we're going to use this stamp that says "Wish You Were Here" with Azure Afternoon ink. Voila. Isn't that adorable? I loved it. I love this. That's probably my favorite part because this is my favorite little square. And then we're gonna put up, you just kind of have to arrange it all to make sure your chair's not covering up. And so I did like trim this down with some paper snips. So I basically cut it right at the edge of that grass. And I stuck that down straight. So, right there. And then our Adirondack chair. We need dimensionals. I've literally gotten out 4 sheets of dimensionals today. And I can't find any of them. Here they are. So we're going to pop this guy up with dimensionals. I love these little chairs. These are all elements from the kit. So, there we go. Now, just a tip. If you are not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you didn't get this kit, if you go ahead and subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, then a lot of times they'll release, oh, that's cute. I just noticed that that little guy has slits. They'll go ahead and release these refills of the kits. And so you could get everything but the stamp sets and ink. And you could make this, sampler. Or if you already made all your cards and then you saw this video and you wanted to make the sampler, get the refill. That's just a tip. And we're going to use our in color dots to put a little copper clay element there just to give it a little cuteness. Not that it needed any more cuteness because it's the cutest. So there's our little crab in a chair. Ooh, that liquid glue is repositionable. Okay, you love it? All right, now the next square is our surfboard. Let's see, I need to put it over here, which is where my box of goodies is. Let me reorganize so you can see it while I'm stamping. Ooh, what do you call? Samplers are fun, but I do make a big mess when I make them. Because my brain just goes so fast, and then next thing you know, it's like, wow, that was fun. We're going to take another square. Sit down. And we're going to stamp another daffodil. The light. Sun. Now this one is going to go in the upper right-hand corner. And this is our surfboard square. This one is exceedingly simple because all you're going to do is take your surfboard and cut that. You're going to cut that down to 3 inches. So, super simple. And you're going to stick that down like so. And then you're going to pop up you're going to pop one of these starfish in the sand. I stuck that one straight down with glue or glue dot. And then you're going to use some dimensionals on these little punch out flip-flops. These are all the die cuts from the set. Pop your flip-flops on. And then I just couldn't resist. I went ahead and added 3 of these in color dots to the surfboard. And then I put 2 of them right here on the flip-flops. Just to give it some sparkle. All right, and that is your surfboard square. And then your final square is actually the easiest. And this is the one that reminds me the most of an OP shirt from the 80s. but we're going to take this guy and we're legit just going to cut that down. We're going to bring that to the 3-inch mark. Just look and make sure you're not cutting off some element that you love. And then we're going to bring it over here and line up that yellow with close to the 3-inch mark. And that just goes straight down here. All right, and that is the whole sample. Let me make sure I got all my, yep, I got all my in color dots added. So all the pieces and parts from that paper pumpkin kit to make this gorgeous home decor piece. Thanks for watching. Bye.